Okay, this is the home page for the dance calendar. To see the calendar, you have to click Calendar or go to Calendar here. Let's take a look at that. On the calendar page, you have areas. Now we have many more areas that are listed here. These areas are ones that have an event that's been updated in the last year. So to get a new area, we just have to create an event in any of the other areas, and it will automatically show here. Now, if we look over here under upcoming and ongoing, it tells you the number of events that have been updated in the last year. So since upcoming events, when they're past, they won't show, these are the only upcoming events that will actually show. 37 for this one, 15 and 1. However, for ongoing events will show no matter how old they are. So this is telling you that there's only 2 ongoing events lists that have been updated in the last year in Lake Orlando, Florida. But there may be many more ongoing events, we just can't see them. So if we're going to go to Central Florida, we can see that there are many more events, but only these 2 have been updated in the last year. Now the reason we know these 2 have been updated is because when we've been updating the events now, we change the color of the event so that we can tell. In the future, we'll add some code that will be an indicator so you know which ones have been updated in the last year. Now, if you know that any of these events are good or bad, you have an option to edit the event. You can see that here. And if it's not a good event, you can delete it. Or if it is a good event, you can update it so that the date will be more current. Let's go back to the main calendar page. Now on the main calendar page, this data here is looked up in the database and then calculated. And because of that, every time we went to this page, if we looked it up in the database, since this page is hit a lot, that would impact the database a lot. So we only update this page either once a day or once after this page has been seen every so many times, like 20 times or something. However, you can click here on this link areas to cause the database, this page to be refreshed. So if you add a new event and you come to this page, you won't see the new area. And if you want, so to see the new area, just click areas and then you'll see it. And we'll go through that. So to add a new area to this page, you're going to click your name, and that takes you to my administration page, your administration page. And everyone sees the same thing, which are these personal administration here and their personal same links up there. Now you're a data manager, which gives you a lot of authority to update the entire system. And so you get this quick access menu to update anything on the system, not anything, but many things on the system. And to add a new area, the one you're interested in is event list. You would also be interested in the org list. These are the 2 main ones. So if you click on admin, you get the whole administration option. But let's take a look at that real quick. So here's the main administration option. They're broken down into categories, and under authorization you have organization and users, and under applications you have the event. So we can click event list here, or we can go back to the previous page and we can click in the quick access menu event list, and that's what we're going to do now. Now this is where we list the events, And you saw, let's go back to the home page for a second and the calendar. So we have Colorado and we have Florida, and we want to add, say, Georgia. So we're missing Georgia's areas. So let's go back to administration. We're going to go back to event list, and we're going to select the area to search for events, and we're going to select Atlanta, Georgia. And then we want to make sure we're finding events that are for dancing. Oops. We go to interest and dance. Now the reason here is that you have access to the entire back end, which lists more events than just dancing events. So you have to select dance under interest. After you select dance, you have to wait a second to let this second field pop up. We're not going to use it right now, but it does give you other categories, subcategories. Okay, so we're going to search for Atlanta dance events. And we click search. 47 found. So there's plenty of them. And we're going to look through here to see if there's any that are good candidates for us to update. So this list doesn't show us the difference between ongoing and upcoming events. So let's search again and just search for all the ongoing events, display ongoing events. Oh, okay. Well, that didn't work. So that's something I have to fix. Okay, so if that worked, we could just find ongoing events real quickly. But so we can look through here and see if we can find an ongoing event that makes sense. And this one looks like it makes sense. Israeli folk dancing. Well, this is each for a date. So maybe something like English country dance. Let's try that one. So we have English country dance. I don't know, it's Decatur near, and we can click edit. And we should check to see if this actually exists. But let's just update this to 2024, save it, and we're going to go back to the calendar. And we're going to refresh the calendar. Oops, let's go back to that other previous page. So this was an upcoming event, not ongoing. So let's change this to an ongoing event. We're just going to call it other. Actually, we have the website link here. Let's see if that website still exists. Doesn't look like it exists. Okay, so let's just make this other, and we'll save it again. We'll go back to the calendar, refresh the calendar, and now we have Georgia with one ongoing event. So Okay, so we do see some other ongoing events here, but none of these look like they're good. So we're going to just leave them like they are and not do anything with them for now. And what we should do is go back and check each of these events and find out if they exist or not. Okay, but at least we have Georgia in our list. And I went back to the calendar. Yeah, here's Georgia. And let's go ahead and add the other two areas in Georgia. So we're going to go. Now, we're going to search for the other Georgia region, East. And remember to go select dance and then wait for a second till it refreshes here. And then we're going to click, this is Savannah, click search. And we can find, again, okay, Savannah Shag Weekly Dance. That looks like a good candidate. So we click on that, click edit here. I got to fix those links there. And let's update this to 24. And we could go to see if that website, just to check, doesn't exist. Okay, so this probably is not a good event, but we'll leave it here for now. And again, we can go, before we go back to the home page, let's also go back event list and get the third Georgia region. Click search. Oops, I didn't wait. I gotta wait. Now click search. And there's nothing in Valdosta, South Georgia, which makes sense. Okay, so if there's nothing, we'll come back to this one. No, we'll do this one now. So if there's nothing in a region, what you can do is create an event in that region. So there's probably no organizations in that region either. Now you can create an event without an organization. And the way you do that is for the ID org owner, you can leave it at 0, but it's best if you specify 10. Press enter there, and it will say public. And then you can come and add in the name of the event and this other information and create an event. You always need to pick an area, and let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to just say ballroom dance party, and the date we're going to say is December 15th. That's going to pass quickly. And we'll say 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And come join us for a fun evening of dancing. And maybe you have a lesson at 7, so you can say 7 p.m. lesson, 8 p.m. dancing. I like to put that at the top. And then you can say how much it costs, $10 here, or you can put the cost in the next line down here, $10 if you want. Either place is fine. You can put all the information in the description, or you can put it in these different fields down here. It's just that if you put it in these fields, it allows you to search and do other things that are more difficult. But either one's fine. Here you can put in a link to your website. So you can say www.ballroomdance.com. Let's put it to my website, partnerdancing.com. And then you want to select Georgia here. So we have Savannah. I just click the G to get that to come up. It's an upcoming event because it's only held one time. And it's going to be in the United States at the bottom. After we select this, we want to wait a second until we get the states, Georgia, and we'll say Valdosta, and we'll say it's at 200 South Main Street at the Janet's Ballroom. And we can say contact Janet, first or last name, and her number, your number, whatever that might be, an email address, whatever that might be, if you want to include those. And you definitely want to select dance here. And again, we have to wait for our choice, and then we're going to select ballroom. This isn't required, but it allows for more searches. And here we can choose participate as opposed to spectate. These are pretty much the only two that we would be using for this. So participate or spectate. So this will participate. And the more that you fill in these fields, generally the better the search. So we can leave ages out, or we can say it's adults and so on. We're just going to leave ages out. We can put in this or not. It's our choice. And for colors, what you would do is click this link here. Scroll down to some color that you like if you want. Let's say a nice blue. And you just can either type it in or copy it or click it. So we're going to do right click, copy, and we're going to go back over here. And you need to put a pound sign in front of the number and get rid of the space. Now, just leave all the rest of this stuff free. A regular user doesn't have all these things. And just leave everything going down here free. Down here, you could have a lot more text. We're not going to use that. So let's just click add. And we can see the color came up here. And we have ballroom dance party and so on. Now we can click this link to see what the individual record looks like. And we can click this link to see the region. So I'm going to right click here so you can see what the individual, and open in a new window. And you can see that this is what the individual listing would look like. And because your regular users would see this, since you're an administrator, you get to see all this extra stuff. Close that. And now we can go take a look at the Savannah region. And I'm going to open that also in a new tab, actually. And now you can see that in the Savannah region we have, oh, I meant to do South Georgia. Okay, so it's not the region we want. We can fix that easy. We just go here and we click Georgia South. So we just change that and we click Save. And now we have Georgia South. Right click, open a new tab. And I'm going through all this so you can see, just generally how to use all this. So we only have one event and in that region. Now, you get the edit button here because you have special authority, and you also have stuff down here. And what you can do is you can go, oh, this isn't right. You can click edit, and you can just click delete to delete the event. Or if you know of another event, you can go and just change this to whatever event it is. And later, I'll show you how to change the org name here. So let's go back to, well, this is the other, we were editing on this page too. We're going to go back to the calendar, and we're only seeing one Georgia area, so we need to click areas, and now we get all 3 Georgia areas. So now if you want to enter events in any of these 3 areas, you can just click to see what's already listed there. And we can see here we have 1 upcoming event, but no ongoing events. Now let's say you want to create an organization or just use it, see what organizations already exist. So you click org list, and this looks just like the event list, but it's listing orgs. And the best thing to do is just to come down to area and click the area that you want. So let's go with Savannah. And again, we have to click dance down here. We always need to click dance. And we'll just wait a second so that comes up. And then we click search, and we get 4 organizations in Savannah. And here they are. Now, if you know that any of these organizations don't exist, you can just click on one or scroll down to this detail section here. And you can click edit on the organization. And I'm going to right click here. Open in a new tab. And we're on the org update page. And now you see that the org's number is 5501. So we need that number at times. And if you know this organization doesn't exist, you can just click delete if you want. Or you can reuse the record. We don't really care. We're not trying to keep a historical record of all this stuff at the moment. So you could just change everything in this record. Only thing is, there might be people who are authorized to update it. So, and you just put in the same information kind of that you did for the events. Now, this is an abbreviation that you can use. This will show up instead of that in some places. And then initials will show up where appropriate. Now that you have an organization number, let's say you want to keep this organization, 5501, we can go back to create an event. So let's see, 7, org list. Okay, so under Athens Folk Music and Dance Society, we have a link that says Add Event. And we can click that. We'll also open that in a new tab. Let's see right here. And if we scroll down, it put 5501 in the ID org owner field for us. And it left everything out. And it also filled it in automatic with some of these pre-filled information that it took from such as the dance and the interest and so on. So it got this information from the organization name and filled it in for us. So it's good to add events from this org update screen, not org list page. Now you can also click here for most recent events. And this is even a better way. So if we open this, let's close these things. If we open the most recent events for an organization, we get the list. This only had one, but we get the list of events that this organization had. And if we click Edit, then we can just copy this old event and it's all pre-filled with everything from before. And then we can just add whatever information we want. So that's a tour of getting around updating stuff on organization and events. And if you have any questions, let me know and we can do more details. Okay, enjoy.